Right, this has kind of turned into a inlet manifold removal and clean video. So if you didn't watch the other video, probably watch that because, you know, you'll pick up on what's happened so far. So basically, glow plug lines come off, a few brackets and bits and pieces. Oh yeah, you got the top bolt from the stay and the bottom one's loose, so that can sort of move around and out a little bit as required. Might have to probably get a bit more out of that. I'm just trying to remember actually, you know what's easier? When I actually do manifolds, I just take the whole thing off. So follow the minimal amount of vacuum lines that you have to, up against the block there probably. And that bottom bolt, I reckon let's just take it out, get the whole stay out of the way, because what you're left with is this stay. You've got everything hanging off it. You've got all your other vacuum lines disconnected anyway. There might be a couple of plugs you've got to unplug there, down there, check it, you know, you'll see. Everybody can check and see, undo the plug. Just take it out of the way because it's just kind of going to be in the way, fiddling around, getting the manifold in it. That's what I reckon. What do you reckon? Do you want to leave it there and try and work with it, or do you want to take it? You can go either way.
The bottom bolt was really tough for me to get to because it's like buried right down here. So
hard to get to,
I'm kind of keen to try and leave it in there if I can.
Well, let's see how that goes, and if it doesn't go, then we'll change it up. Beautiful. That's what I do. I like doing it, try different things and whatever, and I don't really like doing manifolds. I haven't done that many, you know what I mean? If you've done, what, you know, done thousands of 1KD work, but manifolds maybe a dozen, you know, so whatever. Because generally
you don't need to do
it's like that and you don't need to do it. But look, sometimes they're worse than that obviously, but even being a bit worse than that, you get most of it out as explained in those. Check out the playlist, EJ information and that, help you decide whether you should do this or not. If you like working on cars, absolutely do it because it's all part of the fun. But yeah, that's why we often don't do them. But if you look in there and it's caked and you clean what you can see there and you just know that it needs doing, then obviously that's what you do. But yeah, this is progressing nicely. What's next then?
Now we've got to get this line off, so under these.
Yep, couple more with the clamps and stuff. That's it. And there's one little line with the clamp on there. Oh, is that just a proto? No. Oh yeah, there it is. Yep, see the one underneath that. Oh, what was that? That would be the gasket. Did you take the gasket off the end of the pipe? That'd be the single-use gaskets. Just so everyone knows, single-use gasket. That's why when you get your injector kit from me, there's those 5 little gaskets. They go inside the valve cover, and the 6th one's the bigger one. It goes on the pipe outside. You might not use that, and the inlet manifold gasket, if you don't use this, and you just carefully wrap it around the injector box and send it back to me. Bada bing, beautiful. So that'll be all that is. We'll find that later. But yeah, that's it. Just that's a bit of a fiddly one down there, that clamp, because you've got to get to that. It's not that hard, you know. You just got to look by fingers actually. You know, you just grab that with your fingers, squeeze it, move that clamp back, and then probably just get like a small flat blade or a heater hose tool, whatever. And just, you don't want to wreck the hose, but you just need to sort of loosen it up a bit. Yeah, let's see how you go. We'll try and, we're not going to see too much, but you know, real time action. Because I suppose this is worth videoing because it is one of the more fiddly parts. Long nose pliers perhaps, get in there just for the convenience. Like, it doesn't take a lot of pressure to move that clamp, so. And the big problem is, you know, obviously getting it back on again as well. Because you've got to sort of be pulling it up. So it is a fiddly part of the job. This is certainly one of the challenges, if you like, doing the inlet manifold. So yeah, I'm thinking long nose pliers at this point, right, to get in, get a bit of length to that clamp there, in case you can't sort of see what we're talking about there. That clamp right in the middle of the picture, that one right there. Right. Got to squeeze that, move it down enough so that it would be past where the lip is. And then yeah, underneath the fuel one, I reckon. Under, yeah, I reckon under. Hook the top one over the top of the clamp first. That's it. Now's where you wish you had your headlight on.
You're going by feel.
That's it. And a bit of a twist it down and pushing the wheel, move it down a little bit, whatever. I think you're pretty well there, isn't it? Yeah, I reckon that's, might be not, probably needs, I'd give it a little bit more. You don't want to go too far because it makes it harder, but I think that it's not, it might be sitting just past the, I'll be going like an extra 3 millimeters or something like that, but You know what I mean? You don't want to go too far. Worst case scenario, you can reach down and slide it back up. And just another couple of mil, that's it. Everyone can go and get yourself a cheap set of angle long nose pliers at the market, you know, where you get all your cheap. That's it. You can see it's loose now because you've got it squeezed. We just need to get it to go down a few millimeters. Yeah, it's coming back up now. Hey, that's the other option. Bring it up, but don't drop it when you pull the hose off. Right. So what you got to do then is when you put it on and off, be holding the clamp. When the hose comes off, remove the clamp, put it up here on your shelf with all your other bits and pieces. And then when you put it back on, don't forget, hold that there while you're sliding the hose on. So I haven't done it that way. It's another option. What do you reckon? Oh, it just slid off that easy because of the fuel. Beautiful, that's what you want. So this one generally does slide off nice and easy. So there you go, look at that, right? Beautiful, right? And this is why it's important to keep it's a return line, not a big deal, but you want to keep things clean as you can. So you don't get crap back in your fuel system, whatever. So, but this is fairly clean, and this fuel line is just going to come off and be on the bench soon anyway. So once we get to this end, so this end's pretty straightforward. Couple more clamps. We'll let you get on with that and come back to it. Okay, so what we need to do now. See down here, you got this all these brackets and things. This bolt, I'm pretty sure it's been a while, right? Pretty sure this bolt's got to come out. So this bracket and all this stuff stays behind down there as well. A bit like so, this stays behind. Check it all out, have a look around because I could be wrong. Like I said, it's been a while. Maybe even, what are these bolts here? That might be part of it as well. Take those out as well. Hey, Johnny, where are you, mate? I need some help. Anyway, he'll know. He knows everything. He's the Prado Hilux 1KD expert, right? Anyway, yeah, so that gear's got to stay behind there. So that's got to be, you'll know, it'll take a couple of bolts out and you'll quite easily see that just sort of stay behind over there. So that's one of the next things. Now you've got that fuel return line off. This insulation's got to go. There's a couple of bolts underneath. I think that's one of them sitting there. That one there, and probably this one here. Got the caps on the inlet, so on the column rail, I should say. So once that insulation comes off, I can see you've already got one of the nuts off at this end. The hardest one is the one down the back corner from memory, so it's kind of down behind. It's sort of opposite to that, right? So you get that at first, you work your way to the center. And it's just, they're under here, they're hard to see, but I reckon once you get those two outside ones, you've got, is it 4 or 6 sort of bing, bing, bing along here, sort of. There's not that many, and I'll have a look down under here. We'll get to it, right? You can see a couple of bolts there, whatever, but we'll get to that. And that's about it. Okay, so there's one other thing. I'm not sure if it's different on the Hilux because I always did more Prados than Hiluxes. Once the manifold comes out, that's where I put my long flat blade down because there's a wiring loom that connects on a bracket down there. But we'll get to that as well. And you'll be trying to slide your manifold off and pull it out, and it won't come out because it's got the wiring loom connected to it still. But, yeah. But it's in the inlet manifold removal videos. I think there's a couple of those, but we'll just, I suppose this is a bit of another one now.
We'll just see this one here too. Look, there's one.
Yep, that's got to come off as well, correct? Yep, like a 10 mil or something. Yep. That's what I mean. It's pretty obvious. You'll work that out. So you go ahead and do those things and we'll come back. There's that little gasket that fell off the end of the fuel return line, single use, so that's rubbish. Yeah, find anything else down there? Pays to not drop tools. Rubbish. Oh, I forgot to stock those up. Oh well.
Is that meant to be stuck there like that?
I reckon they can get a little bit stuck. Just make sure you got all the bolts out. Like I said, don't trust me, it's been a while, so. Feels like something's holding it behind there, doesn't it? There you go. Does that help? It did feel like something was holding it though, didn't it?
So where you come and got scared, jumped off.
That's it. But yeah, just I think so. There's only 2 bolts holding it here. Was I at least right about something?
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's it.
Beautiful. Yep. All right, chuck that away. You don't need that. You go in the bin. Don't throw that away. Just put it back out whilst the engineers put it there. It'll help keep things a bit quieter. Although it's a Hilux, you miss a lot of other insulation. They are a bit noisy. All right, let's have a bit of a look around now, so you can see what's what, who's who in the zoo, where your manifold. So that one's already gone. It's got this bracket in the way, but yeah, give you a bit of a look around. You can work out who's who in the zoo and where the zoo is. So there's sort of bit sideways and whatever, but you know, you get that if you want to try and fit something in down there. That's why it is a bit awkward to video. That's why I thought we'll do this time at least, you know. Yeah, what's going on here? What are we doing?
Just pulling these manifold bolts out. It is a bit tough. Can't really see where they are.
Bit feely, yeah. You can't see them. You just got to feel your way out of it, don't you?
Yeah, that one was right in the corner there. It wasn't too bad.
Yep.
And one was hidden right in here.
That's it.
That was tough, that one.
Yeah. I reckon those two back ones are the two hardest ones, though. Yeah. And then you got the middle ones that are just a bit hidden that you're working on now.
Yeah. You
so
can
what is that? 6 altogether? Is that right?
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I think there's 6. I can't remember if it's 6 or 8, but yeah. I don't know if I think 6 plus the 2 on the outside or, yeah, always forget. We'll find out once we get it off. It'll be interesting for everybody to see what's in there and all that sort of thing after plating up for 50,000 Ks from 100 to 150 with a plate to see, you know, oh yeah, look at that build up still. Yeah, oh, I should have done that, or oh, look, it's all clear, you know, waste of time. Glad I didn't do it. Could go either way. Cameraing the camera, how's that, huh?
It's a good way to see where the bolts are.
All right, so we're getting closer.
So I reckon there's one more in there, and then that might be it, actually.
That's what you want. Don't unbolt the common rail, you don't need to do that. So you got all these out of the way, that's cool. Yep. Yeah, oh, that's the other thing. See on that, see that vacuum down there? Right, see that can? We'll call it the can. There's 2 vacuum lines connect on the bottom of that. Easiest way is to go underneath the car where you were before and just carefully get your flat blade, just carefully work that, don't damage them, whatever, right? It's easy to rush and damage these things. Little bit stuck, these ones. Just grab them with your hand if you want. Just give them a wiggle and a pull, that might work. Otherwise, little flat blade, just give them a little bit to get them going. You'll see 2 vacuum lines. Should be the green one at the bottom and the white one the next one up. Let's confirm later in the video. I'm not going down there. You can let everybody know.
I'll get this last bolt while I'm set up for that.
Okay, so you've got the vacuum lines off. Green at the bottom, white at the top down there. So that's all loose, right? You can see that. All right, and all the bolts are at the manifold. So there was only 6. Now, I'll let you do this. So come up here, because you're doing this, not me. I'm just hanging around, mate. I'm just a cameraman. Cameraman with a few ideas that's seen a few things while he's been a cameraman, learned a few things, you know? I'm just the cameraman, mate, you know, that's all. Is that light staying on? Yeah, that's good, okay. Because we've got the shadow from the really bright light behind us still, so obviously you need a few more of those. Now, I don't believe it's going to come off yet, but I could be wrong. But let's just gently move it backwards and find the restricting factor, and also just get some of the other loose tools out of the way and have a long flat blade handy.
Roger.
That's right. So see how far it comes back. Let's have a bit of a gentle wiggle and work it back. And you'll feel something at the back there restricting, right? Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, there is some restriction there.
Yeah, now that's why you got to have your light on now. I'm just starting to think, actually, do we pull the foam out first? See, the order of business here, right? Probably not now. Just let me think from. Oh no, it's the foam. Is there a bit of foam underneath? Does that come out first or not? Yeah, I've really got to think about this. Mate, it's been too long. I don't even know what's going on here. Johnny. So, what you'll find is when I can see it down here somewhere. Is there something connected still or not?
Not sure.
What's this gasket still doing sitting here anyway? Whatever. Yeah, no, see, because I think just trying to remember, I think the highlight, yeah, no, there is something, there's a plug, yeah, that's it.
Definitely.
Yeah, so,
unplug that.
Can you? Yeah, because the Hilux is different to the Prado from memory, but I can't remember. It's too much, you know? It's too much, I can't remember what's going on. Carefully, but must be the Prado, you put the flat blade down along here and the plug slips off the bracket. But I'm trying to remember what the plug is. Yeah, mate, it's been a couple of years since I've done a manifold. Johnny, good work, mate. Love your work. What is going on? Let me think, yes. Let me think from yes. Now we can see what's going on. This is why we should get the flat blade ready now. This is what you need to do, people. Once you get it out, bit of angle like that. See right in the middle of the picture there. See that little black tab in the middle there? You just gently get under that. Just gently, that's it. And kind of a bit of a put. That's it, mate. That's the one. Push that out of the way and now you're in business. Now you'll be able to lift it all out of position. That's the restricting factor, and you kind of can't get to it. You've got to start lifting it out as you just did. Look at that, beautiful. No more manifold. Now that insulation comes out, of course it stays there till afterwards, doesn't it? And don't forget, put it back in. All right, so you don't have to unplug the plug. The plug stays there. It's just that on the back of it where it hooks on.
Look how clean that manifold is. We might as well just stick it straight back on.
It is pretty good, see. So you clean it, make it look shiny, make you feel better, but there's no restriction there whatsoever. So this is typical. Anyway, that's that little tab that the plug go. Remember to put it back on when you put it back together as well. But you just got to, you saw how easy it was to get behind that little tab and it just slides down. And that's why you watch the videos, because detail, mate. And we just show you make things the easy way. This is usually the worst of it at this end. And that's why, you know, you can see that crud there. So if you wanted to clean this more, when you do your EGR clean, which is just in here, you can spend a bit more time cleaning that. But the other thing is you can do, once you know it's this clean, you've cleaned your EGR, you can spray intake cleaners in, you know, and that'll help clean up you can't do that when you've got an engine. These whole, you know, systems cleaning when it's all caked up, you can't do that. But when it's this minimal amount, you can. So anyway, this is going to be Mickey Mouse clean soon. Beautiful. All right, so that's getting the manifold off. You don't want too many things falling in your engine, so let's get rid of that. So once again, why it's important to have it really clean. I'll turn the light on, we'll get right in the ports and see what it looks like. Let's just have a quick look inside these ports just to see what they look like. Oh my God, look at all that mess. Oh no. What are you going to do, pull the head off and get it sent away now as well? No, it's nothing, mate. You know what I mean? Like if it's there, just needs more of a thrashing. But just have a look, you can see the side of the port, you can see the back of the valve, not too bad actually. Oh, there's number 2. Number 1 actually, that was still. This is number 2. Just to give people an idea what things look like. You know, I mean, you can spend time cleaning this as well. I mean, how much time do you spend? Well, let's just see exactly how much time you do spend. We'll soon find out, you know. We'll let you know once the videos are done. Well, what time did you start this? Let's say about 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, yeah.
It's pretty good. What is it now? Must be getting close to 12, I reckon. I'm hungry. I haven't eaten. I'm hungry. So, I know, 11:15. So that's pretty good going. Strip down the side of the engine in a bit over 3 hours, you know. You haven't done that before, you know. You don't need EGR, so still like a first-year apprentice kind of thing on the mechanical side. So, not bad going. So, so what I'll do is pick all the bits of leaves and stuff like that out. I wouldn't use compressed air at this point, just pick all this bigger stuff and just chuck it out the way. You know, you don't want to blow anything in there. I'd probably say these can get really firm, comes out all right. You just got to work it with lots of fingers slowly around the glow plugs. Don't touch the glow plugs. As we've said in videos, don't touch the glow. People touch glow plugs, threads come out of heads and cause all sorts of problems. We don't know of any problems. The fact of the matter is we've never heard or seen a problem with a 1KD glow plug. So the time they get replaced is when you get a new engine or a new head or, you know, major mechanical work, which is going to be rare. But that's when they get replaced. Other than that, we recommend you do not touch them. 1KZ, replace them every 100,000 Ks. So completely different story, different engine, different products. So we're going to get that off, I think. We're going to get the gasket off. How much time do you reckon you're going to spend on the head? You're going to give the ports just a quick wipe out, and that's it. You're not going to spend like 6 hours. Some people get in there and they polish and like they turn the engine out, get the timing cover or whatever, you know, and turn over and they polish everything in the holes, and it's beautiful. I've seen their semi photos. It is beautiful, but it gives you nothing. It doesn't give you anything, you know, and it won't really stay. If you've got the EGR turned off, it might stay like that. But you're going to have the oil, which is good lubrication, unless you've got one of those silly cans we won't talk about in this video. So you're not planning. I mean, it's a clear flow. There's no.
I'd be a bit concerned about dislodging stuff and ending up with some of that under a valve. You know?
Exactly.
You have to be really careful.
That's it. And spraying those intake cleaners once this whole job's done. If you really want to clean up the valves, mate, every 10,000 Ks before you do your oil and filter change, take off your throttle body, spray the intake cleaner in there. You've got to be careful what products you use and how you use them. But spraying that in there, that's going to be the go to finish off all that cleaning and keep it clean as well. So you're not planning on spending a heap of time there. So yeah, get that off, clean the manifold. It gets pretty boring now. All right, people, subscribe, turn the bell on if you want to see the next video. If you liked it, hit the like button. Catch you on the next one. See ya.